This had better be worth it.
Guide me.
Greetings. I must hunt soon. Greetings. What is it now? I must hunt soon. That was my plan. What is it now? Very well. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. I must hunt soon. What is it now? What, mortal? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. I hunger. That was my plan. Agreed. I hunger. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Death rages. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? I hunger. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Rages. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. I hunger. You thought of that? I hunger.
Welcome to our allies' town needs help. Greetings, my lord.
Very well. Your soul is mine. That was my plan. Very well. Die. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Death rages. You thought of that? Agreed. I hunger. Die. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Thought of that?
Our allies' town needs help.
Very well. Thought of that? That was my plan. Thought of that?
First blood.
Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. That was my plan. Agreed. Agreed.
Our allies' town needs help.
That was my plan. I hunger. Rages. Agreed. Forward. What sort of that was my plan. I hunger. Rages. I hunger. Rages. Agreed. That was my plan. Your soul is mine. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Your soul is mine.
Our allies'
Agreed.
town needs help.
I hunger. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Death rages. Die. That was my plan. You thought of that? I hunger. Die. That was my plan. I hunger. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Die. Death rages. Die. Death rages. Die. Death rages. You thought of that? I hunger. Death rages. Die. That was my plan. Your soul is mine. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. Death rages. Killing spree. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. Death rages. Die.
Our allies' town needs help.
I hunger. Die. Death rages. Thought of that. Agreed. I hunger. That
Our
was my
allies'
plan.
town needs help.
Die. Thought of that. That was my plan. I hunger. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. Death rages. You thought of that? You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? I hunger. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Death rages. That was my plan. I hunger. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well.
Our allies' town needs help.
Thought of that. That was my plan. You thought of that. That was my plan. Own it. Your soul is mine. Dominating. Own it. Die. Please. I hunger. Death rages. You thought of that. I hunger. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Death rages. Agreed. Your soul is mine. That. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. I hunger. That was my plan. Death rages. You thought of that? Very well. Your soul is mine. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. I hunger. Very well. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. What, mortal? That was my plan. Your soul is mine. Your soul is mine. Stop here. I hunger. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Greeting. Dominating. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Wicked sick. Of that. I must hunt soon. Die. That was my plan. You thought of that. Very well. What is it now? Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. Very well. Agreed. I hunger. That. Very well. You thought of that. Death rages. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Very well. Agreed. What is it now? Greetings. Die. You thought of that.
Our allies' town needs help.
Death rages. Die. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. What is it now? You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan.
Our allies' town needs help.
That was my plan. What? You thought of that? That was my plan. Death rages. Very well. You thought of that? Your soul is mine. That was my plan. Agreed. Die. That was my plan. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. What is it now? Agreed. You thought of that. Monster kill! Die. Your soul is mine. I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? Death rages. That was my plan.
Have engaged the enemy.
What is it now? You thought of that? Die. That was my plan. Death rages.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Die. Very well. You thought of that? Greetings. Very well. That was my plan. That was my plan. I hunger. Very well. You thought of that. That was my plan. Very well. Death rages. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. I hunger. I must hunt. Dominating. Orange. Death rages. Agreed. Greetings. You thought of that? Death rages. I hunger. I must hunt soon.
Our allies' town needs help.
I hunger.
Our allies' town needs help.
Your soul is mine. Dominating. I hunger. Very well. That was my plan. was my plan. Rages. That was my plan. Agreed. I must hunt soon. Thought of that. Death rages. Very godlike. I hunger. Hold on, I hunger.